Call me now. This Miss Cleo documentary. Hey, Aces. Welcome back to the channel. So that was my impression. I'm obviously not Jamaican, but neither was Miss Cleo. So we gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it. So I just watched her documentary, Call Me Miss Cleo. And while I'm laughing at just the over the top persona that she, presented to the world, this was a huge scam. And unfortunately, she got done real dirty, y'all. They did not pay her a fraction of what they should have. But this is my warning to everybody. And I know I'm starting off in the beginning, but please, please, please read anything and everything that you sign. Okay. Now I've done it in the past. Obviously, you're not trying to read a whole book and, you just want to hurry up and go on about your day. But as I become a little bit more savvy, I came across this one contract. I did it wasn't even serious. It was like just book editing work for someone. And this girl, and yes, she was, but this girl got a Beverly Hills lawyer to send me a contract over. So, they sent it to my email, and it was like a Ursula contract from The Little Mermaid. Like, it had the rights to my face, my likeness in perpetuity, which in perpetuity means forever, ever, forever. Okay. And I was just like, no, I'm not signing that. So I made them redo that contract like 3 or 4 times and was serious. And I was like, and Beverly Hills, you shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, you should know better. And that's the thing. I don't know if she was, going through some things or wasn't familiar with, contract. There's so many, musical artists have talked about how they got sucked into bad contracts. Diddy is the king, allegedly. But please, 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 y'all, read anything that you sign. Okay, let's get into it. Miss Cleo. Here we go. So her real name, her government name is Yori Del Harris. She was born on August 12th, 1962, and she passed away on July 26, 2016. So she was an American television personality and actress best known for portraying Miss Cleo, who was a spokeswoman for a psychic pay-per-call service called the Psychic Readers Network. And it was a series of television commercials that aired from 1997 to 2003. So I remember her, like I said, when I was real little. And I remember the commercials came on, usually like on BET. I used to watch a lot of BET growing up. But yeah, she was just like, calling me now. And of course I never did because my mama ain't play that. And I kind of felt like it was a scam. Even back then, like I said, I was little, but I still was just like, and plus I don't deal with, I don't mess with that, but to each his own, everybody's different. I just wasn't calling and spending my mama's hard-earned money on Miss Cleo. However, a lot of people did. So we're going to get into that. So she attended an all-boy or all-girls school, boarding school, actually. And her family actually was from the Caribbean. So this is what I thought was interesting. She was born here in LA, in America, but her family was born from Jamaica. So that's where she got the accent. So in 96, she opened a theatrical production company in Seattle, Washington. And she produced several plays. So she was a thespian. She was an actress. And she acted in her first project. It was an autobiographical play entitled For Women Only. Autobiographical, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm really sleepy. And I think I'm getting a cold, so y'all have to forgive me. But yes, so her last project called The Supper Club Cafe in 1987, that wasn't really successful. And she actually, when they were making this documentary, she owed some people some money, a lot of actors and actresses that she hired in Seattle. And then she kind of took the money and run. She didn't pay them. So they were upset with her about that. In the late 1990s, Harris began working for the Psychic Readers Network under the name Cleo. Okay, so she adopted that in the 90s. She appeared in a television infomercial where she was a psychic and she claimed to be a shaman from Jamaica. So it was supposed to be just a one-time thing, right? But what ended up happening was people loved her persona so much that the people kept her on full time. Okay. So here we have Deborah Wilson. You guys remember her? She was on Mad TV. And actually, she portrayed Miss Cleo many times, right? That was one of the characters that she did. But she was just talking about how, the psychic hotlines back then, they were really huge. I remember Miss Cleo wasn't the only one. I just think that she was the most popular one. But, that was during like the, QVC era. And, you would call in just for pretty much anything. People would call in 2, 3 in the morning. It would be like, those infomercials trying to sell you knickknacks and paddywhacks. But yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people did call in. And what ended up happening is they got sued. So the Psychic Reader Network, they pretty much got sued because people said that they weren't satisfied with the service they reported from Consumer Affairs. In 2002, the Federal Trade Commission charged the company's owners, who was not Miss Cleo, okay? The owners and promoters were Stephen Feder and Peter Stoltz. So they charged them with deceptive advertising, billing, collection practices. Now, this is the thing that threw me, okay? The contract that Miss Cleo signed, they had rights to her likeness, her name, her everything. And they put that on everything. They used that as a marketing ploy for merchandise and so on and so forth. And the network, just people calling in, made these two men, Stephen Feder and Peter Schultz, over $1 billion, y'all. Billion with a B. Okay. Raven Simone also chimed in, and she also on That's So Raven, she would have the character Miss Cleo with the Psychic Network. But Raven is a little bit more, media savvy. She's been in the game since she was a real little kid, like 4, I think. With that song, That's for Little Girls Are Made Of. Yes, that was my jam way back in the day. But so yeah, Raven Simone, chimed in, and she said that she was really sad to hear that these two men pretty much got over on Miss Cleo because they cut her out of the huge finances that they made off of her name. A lot of people called into the Psychic Readers Network thinking that they were going to talk to Miss Cleo because that was the, TV personality that they resonated with. And come to find out, it was just, Billy from up the street, up the block or whatever. So Miss Cleo found out that, these two men made over $1 billion. And she told the FTC and the feds, because of course the FBI, they wanted their money. She said, I don't have it. And, she was dropped from the lawsuit. And also it emerged from the lawsuit, they found out that she had been born in LA and not in Jamaica, like the persona, Miss Cleo. So she, basically, I wouldn't say she died penniless, but she definitely did not have the money that was made off of her back, off of her name, and off of her likeness. She did get married at the age of 19. She gave birth to a daughter. She divorced at age 21. She had a second daughter in the late 20s. And then in 2006, she came out as a lesbian, and she had partners that were women up until the day that she died. So I really hope that she, found peace before she left this earth, because and before she left, and how she left was she had rectal cancer, colon cancer, which metastasized, and she died under hospice care in Palm Beach, Florida on July 26, 2016. She was only 53 years old, which is still fairly young when you think about like Angela Bassett, who was doing well and is healthy in her 60s. So 53 is still fairly young, and it makes me sad because I feel like she she earned these men a lot of money. Like they got over $1 billion, and what ended up happening, of course, they didn't serve any prison time. It was a federal case, so, and it was, oh man, they only had to pay $5 million. That was it. That's a slap on the wrist if you have $1 billion, you know. But anyway, that was the documentary. You guys let me know your thoughts, and rest in peace, Miss Cleo. I'll talk with y'all later. Take care. Bye.